A reconnaissance drone flying over the borders of the temporarily occupied territories noticed a checkpoint that was growing in size and had tactical and logistical importance. Russian officers may have had plans for this checkpoint, but the UAV operator quickly corrected them by destroying their supplies. Having dug trenches stretching for kilometers, tens, or even hundreds of kilometers, Russian soldiers hoped to gain some advantage and protection during their tactless attacks. However, they did not take into account the flight altitude of drones, which clearly exceeds the maximum height of the trenches, and the absence of any roof makes these passages tunnels of death. But even a roof over their heads is no longer a guarantee of safety, and the holes that soldiers crawl into for safety simply become their graves. The same goes for this mortar operator who is firing from the ruins of a former residential area, and for the fact that it is now like this, the mortar operator paid with his life. Russian soldiers often think they can hide or run away. They believe that if they go farther, dig deeper, or disappear faster, they can avoid the strike. But this is only an illusion. In reality, they are already being watched. They are constantly under surveillance, and every step they take is tracked. The drones are already in the sky, and the question is not if they will find their target, but only when. Can happen at any moment. When a soldier is sleeping, when he is eating, when he thinks he is safe, or even when he is moving forward to kill. Sooner or later, the strike will come, and there is no chance to escape it. A Russian assault group of airborne troops set out on a mission with more than 10 vehicles in their convoy. Motorcycles carried paratroopers who believed they were advancing in strength. First, everything looked organized. Engines roared, dust rose, and the column moved as planned. But the first drone strike changed the situation instantly. A single hit threw the convoy into confusion. Vehicles scattered in different directions. Paratroopers jumped from their motorcycles, abandoning them, while shouting their motto, "We don't abandon our own." They ran past the very vehicles they had come to protect, leaving supplies and equipment behind. Drone operators then shifted to hunting individual soldiers. Those who tried to hide were tracked. Those who ran across open ground were targeted. Step by step, strike by strike, the paratroopers were taken out. By the end of the combat sortie, the assault group was no longer operational. Drones are used actively by both sides in the war. Russia regularly launches hundreds of UAVs, often aiming not at military positions, but at cities and civilian areas. These attacks have become a routine part of the conflict. In this case, the video shows how an Mi-8 helicopter crew responds. The machine gunner on board carefully tracks the incoming drones and opens fire with precision. Step by step, he brings them down, demonstrating the role helicopters play in air defense. According to the report, 6 Shahid-type drones and 4 Garin, or so-called Gerbers, were destroyed in this mission. It is one of many examples of how aerial defense forces continue to intercept and neutralize these threats before they can reach their targets. However, in addition to large Shahids, there are also smaller kamikaze drones that also destroy Ukrainian vehicles and other things. Here is one example. When an SBU group's car was being pursued by a drone, they simply stopped and shot down the drone that was threatening them with extreme precision. And here in the video, there are Russian soldiers who changed their position, who were also pursued by the drone, who also stopped and got out to shoot at the drone with their weapons. However, despite outnumbering the drone, they performed worse, which resulted in the explosion of their buggy-type vehicle, forcing them to reach their final destination on foot or on the only remaining motorcycle. However, where there is one drone, there is another, so they had to move very quickly. Therefore, this video is a vivid confirmation of the level of training of soldiers and the difference in skills. The night flight of the reconnaissance drone proceeded as usual. The night vision device allowed every movement in the dark to be recorded and a small group of people to be observed. At first, it was a standard data collection mission, with the operator tracking enemy positions from a safe distance. However, the situation quickly changed. Instead of simple observation, a decision was made to strike. A larger bomber drone joined the operation, receiving the exact coordinates of the target. The camera shows how ammunition is being prepared in the silence of the night, and the operator guides it into its trajectory. In the pitch darkness, the explosion looks particularly striking. The flames pierce the black sky, illuminating the area for a few seconds. The group below is caught in a sudden strike, and only a bright flash and smoke remain on the screen. Every day, people continue to learn how to wage modern warfare. New drone pilots appear daily, while those who already have experience continue to hone their skills. Drone control is no longer just about surveillance, but a whole range of tasks, from reconnaissance to precision strikes on targets. This video shows the work of a pilot who has only recently mastered drone control. Despite his limited experience, he performs tasks on par with professionals. You can see how he moves from hunting individual targets to destroying fortified positions. Particularly impressive is the moment when he manages to get close enough to detonate the enemy's large-caliber installations. During night reconnaissance, drone operators detected enemy positions. A cannon and a 120mm mortar, which were actively used by the enemy, came into view. A decision was made to strike. As a result, the target installations and personnel were destroyed, significantly reducing the enemy's firepower in this area.